Well, we're back. We're back to continue our video games ranked and reviewed series. And we're here with a fucking spicy meatball of a movie that we are going to get straight into, I guess. Hello everyone and welcome to Video Game Movies Ranked and Reviewed. I am your host TOMYE West, and joining me as always is my co-host, ALANNIS Maximus.
Salutations.
Before we get on with it, please subscribe, turn on notifications, comment, leave a like, do all that jazz, and we really appreciate it. How much would we appreciate it, ALANNIS?
We would appreciate it more than I appreciated this movie ending.
Yeah. With that, before we get into our thoughts, I'm going to try my best to get through this overview without falling asleep. Okay, so, oh my god, I just found something whack about it already. Guess what this is rated? If you can guess what this movie is rated, I will. You guessed it. I was going to say, I owe you a pizza. I was about to say I buy you a pizza. Please, someone, anyone, I know one person is going to watch this video at least. We're going to at least have one view. Just one viewer, please leave a comment if you can tell us what the fuck 12A means as a rating. Because we know what PG-13 is, NC-17, R, X, like all these. But what the fuck is 12A? If you leave a comment and tell us, and you can give us the right answer, because I can't be bothered Googling it. I could, but I'm not going to. If you can, I will personally contact you, and I'll send you a pizza. Because it's really frustrating me, these fucking ratings. 12A is weirder than when we saw that Halloween 2 was rated X.
Yeah.
Anyways, Assassin's Creed, released 2016. Rated 12A. Run one time, an hour and 55 minutes. Too long! 5.6 out of 10 IMDb rating. Directed by Justin Kurzel. Written by Michael Leslie. Find a new job. Adam Cooper. Find a new job. And Bill Collage. Find a new job. This stars Michael Fassbender, Marion Cotillard, and Jeremy Irons. And this had a budget of $125 million. Way too much. Opening weekend, it made $10.2 million in US and Canada. It grossed $54 million in US and Canada all up. And then worldwide, it grossed $140.6 million. So, with that.
It's a lot of disappointed people.
Don't even get me started. ALANNIS, let's get into our thoughts, and you take the fucking floor.
Well, I like Michael Fassbender. I like Jeremy Irons. Some of the action was cool. The dark shots weren't as dark as maybe Batman and
Black Panther.
Some people got paid, like the children would have eaten because this was made. What other straws can I clutch out here to say good things about this movie?
I'm trying to think, man. I'm trying to help.
Morbius.
Huh?
It wasn't Morbius. Man, could you imagine watching this and then Morbius?
And then Halloween ends?
Oh, fuck.
Imagine that was your... Imagine you were... Imagine you back in the day. Like, say all these movies existed back in the day when there was video shops. And you were with your parents on a Friday night to Blockbuster Video. And you're like, let's get Assassin's Creed, Halloween Ends, and Morbius. How bad your fucking Friday night would have been.
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah.
I would have put those in the return slot at Blockbuster Video back on fire.
I'm just glad this streamed on one of the services I own, so I didn't have to go to the effort of committing piracy to
Prime?
see it. Disney.
It's on Prime, and get this, it's on Prime for free and for purchase.
Who the fuck is gonna go, you know what, that was a really good movie and I'm gonna watch it again?
But, dude, you can watch it again.
Yeah.
It's free. But they're charging for it too, so you can buy it if you want. And then be like, oh, let's watch it again. And then people be like, why'd you buy it? Why don't you just stream it again? And people be like, oh, I wanted to buy the movie. Like, there's no reason for them having, like, dude, everything about this fucking movie. Everything.
That makes as much sense as the movie that's happening. Like the Animus. Did the writers did they play an Assassin's Creed game?
Well, if you're gonna ask me that in seriousness, I'm gonna have to say, fuck no, they didn't, bro. Like, I'm telling you right now, I'm just gonna come out and say it all over. I've been holding it back. I had to have a cigarette. I had to get my nerves ready, and I'm just gonna say it like this: I fucking hate this movie. This movie isn't just a bad movie. It's boring. It's bland. It's bad. It's poorly written. The story is so lackluster. The story has no interesting point. All the Abstergo shit at the start of the movie, suck my dick, go away. All the fucking, man, absolutely everything in this movie. Like, you know the color of Abstergo, the white? That's this movie. The whole thing is as boring as the fucking Abstergo color white. I know you like Michael Fassbender. I'm sure it's not his fault that this movie was this bad. You know what is his fault, though? That he signed on to do it.
I'm sure it bought his mum a house or something.
He probably bought his mum 6 houses before this movie. He didn't need more money to do something like this. Like, how can anyone have read this script and gone, yep, I'm on? Because the only way I can see Michael Fassbender saying, okay, I'll be on this movie, is because he read the script but didn't understand the source material and just thought Assassin's Creed is a really big franchise. This script seems okay to me. Yeah, okay, I'll do it. I'm telling you, if Michael Fassbender actually knew what Assassin's Creed was and played Assassin's Creed and then read this script, he would have vomited shit, pissed on it, and then set it on fire and then sent it back to the studio.
Yes, I agree. And if he didn't, I like Michael Fassbender a little less.
I hope
Michael Fassbender.
I hope
Michael Bass Fender.
I hope we never see another movie of this.
Yeah, I don't think we will. It's
not saying I don't want another 2 or anything. I'm saying I hope they never attempt this. I know. 1 second.
Lucky. I hate the movie too. It's okay.
Stop it. Up here. Lie down.
I can't blame her for being upset about this movie, though.
Look, man. She's upset because she watched it and she was like, she even said to me, she goes, is this supposed to be Assassin's Creed? And I went, yeah. And she goes, well, they certainly didn't do a good job considering she's seen a lot of Origins, you know? Oh, there's your number.
You know what? I'm going to have my 2 cents. It's okay. The dog isn't actually here, Floyd. Is that?
Floyd, I'm here. Floyd! Floyd! Floyd!
Feel our dogs are better than this movie.
Man, dude, their dog shit is better than this movie.
Yep.
Anyways, let's talk
Yeah.
about a couple of the things that maybe you enjoyed about this movie, apart from Michael fucking faced Bender.
Action scenes were well done. Like, if I completely removed... Out of the way. Go away. Come on. You're in my leg room. Off you go. So, the action scenes were they were well done. They were, like, remove the complete context and just look at them as action scenes, and they were fun. But that's about it. Like,
Oh, sorry, man. I drifted off to sleep because, yeah, the action scenes were well done, but they were well done as, like, they weren't, like, it wasn't like, they were well done, but it was nothing good. Like, it was like,
there's nothing good behind them. But
it's not like fight scenes in movies where everyone's like, wow, that was incredible. Like, these, they were fine. They did what they had to do. I really think that this movie is the fucking worst. And I'm going to be perfectly honest with our audience. Some of you may know, some of you may not know. I suffer with ADHD. So for me to sit through movies, even bad ones, it's a lot. And, even good ones, it's a lot for me. And I will sit through bad movies and I'll force myself to concentrate on bad movies. I do it all the time. We've done it a lot in this series. And I do a good job of making myself concentrate, take notes, blah, blah, blah. There are 2 movies that I have fallen asleep through or refused to continue to watch. Batman Returns, I fell asleep during. I find it very boring. Assassin's Creed, I have now attempted to watch twice since it's come out since 2016, and not successfully. I have not been able to sit through this movie now twice. This time I got further in than the last time. And you know me, I always say to you, I'll watch anything if it's in 3D. I don't care, I just love watching 3D movies. This was that movie I told you about, that it's in 3D, and even the 3D is bad.
I couldn't imagine anything about this movie being 3D worthy. Like,
dude, they've made so many movies in 3D that didn't need 3D, and it was irrelevant, but they were trying to ride the 3D wave while it was going on. You know, there was lots of those. But this movie, on paper, not the script we actually got, but on the idea of this movie and what it would include and blah, 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 has 3D written all over it. But the movie's bad, and the 3D was never utilized the way it should have been. And I don't know how they could have fucking fucked up so bad twice on something. Like, you couldn't even get 3D interesting for this movie, man. Like, I very rarely come on our shows now and just tear a movie to pieces and have nothing good to say about it at all. Me and you, we did that a couple of times. People thought we started being kind of a bit more negative than we usually would be and a bit more critical. And so we tried to dial that back a bit unless we really feel like a movie needs to have its fucking day. And right now, Assassin's Creed's having its day. I'm not just going to say that this is one of the worst video game movies, adapted movies. I'm just going to straight up say this is one of the fucking worst movies ever.
It is very, it feels like U-Ball. I don't think you'd be too familiar with him, but he's you're going to become familiar with him because he did a lot of really bad video game adapted movies in the early 2000s, like Far Cry, Blood Rain. The list goes on. This feels like a U-Ball movie.
This just feels like This feels like a joke, this movie.
Yeah.
And dude, there is bad video game adapted movies like the Super Mario Brothers movie from 1993. But you know what that has in what qualities it redeems itself in?
90s charm.
It's a holler to watch. It's a hoot and a holler to watch because it's dumb. It's shit. It's so shit. It's so fun. It's so shit. It's so good. You know what I mean?
It's
This
cheesy.
movie is so shit, but so shit that there is nothing good about this. Like with Mario, you can laugh because it's stupid. Like, yo, Luigi, let's go get a pizza, and just the dumb decisions and all the weird stuff in those movies. It's a fun time just because it's so crap. This movie is crap, but not a fun time because it's so meant to be taken so seriously and was so fresh. Like, dude, in the 90s, when that Mario movie came out, they didn't really understand how to kind of transform a game like Mario into a movie format. And it was like, I feel like it was an experimental period for making video game adapted movies. And while they failed, they still delivered a movie that had visually interesting things, had memorable moments, had some good chemistry between the two main actors, had some classic one-liner sort of jokes, had all these things. And yes, it was a shit movie, but it had qualities. This movie is now a 2016 movie, so we've had many more years of video game adapted movies, video games, people trying to work out how to adapt them successfully. And I can't believe that this is what we got. This they may as well have gotten Bob Hoskins and put him in this.
Could you imagine that? Hey, yo, I'm
in it. It would have been better because it would have been funny. How would you? This is a different question, and I think this is interesting. If you were approached by what film company made this? 20th Century Fox, yep.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Fox.
If 20th Century Fox said to you, like you, hello, Alana speaking. Hello, Alana, how are you going? Oh, not too bad, not too bad. Yes, this is some cockhead from Fox. I just wanted to ask you, would you be interested in writing the Assassin's Creed movie? And you were like, yeah, I'll have a go, and hung up. What would have you done with an Assassin's Creed, with given the keys to the Assassin's Creed to make a movie?
It's one of those game franchises that's really hard to make a movie of because of what it's done. But if I were to do it, I would at least loosely base it off the first trilogy where it was
Ezio?
No, you had the dude who was in the Animus. I can't remember his name, but he was Desmond. Yes, I'd base it on the Desmond saga. That's what I would do if I think that's the closest thing you could do for a movie for this is adapt that part of the franchise. Because anything else would just be. Well, I mean, I haven't played. I've definitely played enough of Valhalla to know that there's no Animus anymore. It's as far as I'm aware.
I believe there's something in there.
Yeah?
Yeah, I believe. Now, I know what you're saying. I'm trying to think of it outside of the game's perspective. Like, say if you're like, I'm not going to base it off any of the games specifically, but create a story for Assassin's Creed around the world and the myth and the costumes and the hidden blades and stuff. Like, I think they should have, if they were going to make an Assassin's Creed movie, dropped the whole Apple of Eden thing, maybe had something complete. They should have, or they should have done the later on sort of period Assassin's Creed games like Syndicate or Unity. Mainly Syndicate, because Syndicate is fucking awesome. And it's set in in the 1800s, late 1800s in Britain, London, and you get to go to Whitechapel where Jack the Ripper is and all this stuff. Like, it's just a really interesting setting. And there's two characters, there's a female and a male. You switch between them. You've got a train like that you stole, and you can use as like your home base. Like, I mean, there are so many good stories within the games if you wanted to tell them good and make a good movie out of them. Just like they did. Like, maybe not everyone thought Uncharted was a great movie from the game, but what people can definitely say is that they did a very good job at juggling the Uncharted story they came up with. They made it. It was a little bit strange decisions made, but they executed it pretty well. Yeah, and I just feel like they picked everything boring from Assassin's Creed and made it into a movie. Like, they didn't make anything fun. Like, what about if we had more weird glitchy things where you're staying in the Animus for too long and it turned into sort of like a science fiction thing where the Animus makes him, he's stuck in the Animus and now he has to get out. Like, dude, that's your plot right there. You know what I mean? Like, this movie's plot just sucks. I don't know.
And we're on the subject of the Animus. How the fuck was what we saw in the movie The Animus?
I don't know, man. And it looked like the thing that holds Doc Ock up while he's getting his fucking arms put on or whatever, yeah?
Yeah. It's Did they even care to research the subject matter?
Again,
Or did they know the subject matter and did they go, you know what would be better?
Let's strap him up, making him look like he's strapped up to a dominatrix like fucking setup.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I can't get over how bad they made this movie. With the budget it hadn't. Like, Assassin's Creed, I know you said in a message to me earlier, it doesn't seem like the sort of game that you could adapt to a movie easily. But I think that there's a lot more potential to the Assassin's Creed myth that you could make into a movie potentially really well. But you know what I think would probably suit Assassin's Creed better? Being either a very adult, sleekly made animated Netflix series or a CGI animated like movie, like proper CGI adult CGI movie. You know what I mean? Like an Avatar, how they've done that. You know, it's like pretty much all CGI, just motion body capture and shit. I would have preferred completely over the top CGI and stuff, or make it animated and make it sort of like maybe not anime style, but that sort of that sort of style direction, and made like a series, like how they did with Castlevania and shit. I know that's anime as well, but like an Americanized version of what they do, and made it like a 6-part series of like, and maybe not even include the Abstergo stuff. Just make it the story of fucking Ezio or whatever, and the Apple of Eden that's taken away from them at the start on the first episode, and he's going to try and get it back, and every episode leaves you on a cliffhanger, and you can have big set pieces because CGI or whatever, or animated where he's jumping from roof to roof and it looks really cool, and I would have enjoyed that.
You could even open the door there, and each season have a different character. Like you could have Connor for another season. You could literally go through the characters from the game.
That's exactly right. You could literally, you're not stuck then to just one plot. Like, you could already, like, in the first couple of episodes, start setting up things for the next seasons. You know what I mean? Like, so like in the first, 2 episodes, maybe he gets like a fucking image in his head or something of something that's going to happen in the next season, or like, what that sets it up that if the character, like, you never really get an answer what happens to the character usually with Assassin's Creed when you finish the game, because like it's not like they die. It's usually they win or whatever, and then it's a new character the next game. You know what I mean? Like, it would have cool ways for them to be like, well, we're going to do Connor this season, but how are we going to make the next season not be Connor? Well, now we have an interesting thing. Maybe Connor's going to be killed at the last episode, and then we suddenly find out that the story continues because of the Apple of Eden making its way to someone else's hands, but do it all in ancient time. We don't want any of the fucking Abstergo shit. You know, like right then and there, me and you have already pitched a better idea, a better structure, and a better way of tackling this whole fucking franchise. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I would have to say that if this movie had come out this year, it would be really high up on my worst movie list of the year. So, let's just put it like that. And yes, it would be worse than Halloween Ends. Because while Halloween Ends was shit, I still thoroughly enjoyed watching that person get run over by the fucking truck and the fence. And I still thoroughly enjoyed some of the fight scene between Michael and Laurie. And I did like some of the stuff towards the end featuring Michael. And even though it wasn't Michael doing the killing, like cutting the DJ's tongue off and the tongue going around on the vinyl and all that sort of thing, and all those I enjoyed all of those moments in that movie, and I hate that fucking movie. And in this movie, I didn't enjoy one thing, not one. So, yep, this would definitely be above as Halloween Ends if this had come out this year as well. So
it would still be better than Morbius, so.
I can't be, and I won't bear witness to it. You won't.
I don't want you to watch that movie, man. As a friend, don't watch that movie.
And if we ever do all the MCU review or whatever, we're leaving that out.
Or just trust my word. You Wikipedia it, and I'll just trust what I say.
Yeah. By the way, I'm very, very excited though for the future of this series, because we're taking it to a level that you guys are just not going to know what he is. Like, say bye-bye to how this looks. Say bye-bye to the background. Say goodbye to what you see behind us. Say goodbye to everything. And be ready for not only a normal ranked and reviewed episode every week, but be ready for a legit series. I'm talking, we're going to have a story going. From each review is going to have a story that continues. It's going to be a continuing story. It's kind of, how would you want to explain it, Alanis? I would want to explain it like it's very ambitious. Thank you very much. This is by far the most ambitious thing that me and Alanis are going to attempt. And we're going to put the work in to make it really good. And we can't give you a release date yet. We can't tell you when it starts. As we are still working out all our technical equipment we're going to need and writing the scripts and things like that. I've got a green screen, lighting and stuff. Alanis is sorting that out this week. But just you wait till you see what we've got planned for this fucking series. And you know what? I have a feeling it's going to be better than Assassin's Creed.
And Morbius.
Definitely. So I think we've covered this movie pretty well. I don't think we need to go on too much more with our thoughts on this movie.
Can you imagine if they gave us $125 million to make our podcast?
Man.
Rather than make this movie?
I'm not saying that we're fucking a great podcast or anything, but we definitely are more... This has to be more interesting than this piece of shit movie we just watched.
And our budget is...
$0.
Yeah.
And that's the crazy thing too is, yeah, me and you're going to have to probably have a little meeting about our series and what our budget will be on it, because there's going to probably be things that are going to come into it that we're going to have to pay for. So, but we'll look into that. So, with that, we're going to get into... I know you didn't even bother doing your fucking segment, did you?
Yeah, I didn't, because I don't care.
Yep. Usually, Alanis would do a segment called What You May Have Missed. And I do not blame ALANNIS for not doing this segment because who gives a fuck, really, you know?
I don't think I would have missed anything that would be noteworthy. Like,
Yeah. Did you know that in this scene, this is a nod to this character? Oh, yeah, sure it was. You know what I mean? Like, I don't give a fuck.
the fact that they can get the animus right, I'm pretty sure that, yeah.
All right, so let's move straight on to some trivia. The film features the highest freefall performed by a stuntman in almost 35 years. The stuntman Damien Walters performed a freefall from the height of 125 feet, 38 meters, which lasted almost 3 seconds with a 61 mile per hour impact speed.
Well, I mean, at least someone got something out of this.
Michael Fassbender and Ariane Labed did 95% of the fights in the film themselves. Ubisoft gave the prop makers a detailed list of every weapon ever made for the games that they could use as a guide. Hey, maybe you should have done that with the Animus too. The assassins' costumes took 2 to 3 months to make and were all handcrafted. There are 8 versions of each costume, with an entire costume team devoted to each of the assassins. 80% of the film, including stunts, extras, locations, were shot on camera without using CGI. The movie is based on a game with the same name. The actor Michael Fassbender had never played any of the 9 games. Boom. What a correct guess.
Yeah, you got it. You picked it.
Yep. Until just before filming commenced.
At that point, you reckon he's gone, man, what have I gotten myself into?
So he agreed to doing it and then played it just before filming commenced. But
I reckon when he did that, he went, oh, fuck.
He didn't even know the games existed until he was hired by Ubisoft.
So did he play them? Did he?
No. No one on this movie did. Fassbender was attracted to the project because he wanted to do a fantasy film that was rooted in science and also thought the idea of Templars versus assassins was intriguing. Now, my problem with that trivia there, he wanted to do a science movie, like based on science. What science? This fairy tale made up science? Like, this was... What science did they use except the science of stupidity and the science of writing fucking crap cunt movies? Like, honestly. Ugh. I know you like your Michael Fassbender, but he sounds like he made some bad choices. Michael Fassbender actively participated in the film's post-production, including editing. Why? Michael Fassbender was Ubisoft's first choice to play the franchise's iconic hooded hero. According to Jean-Julien Baronet, CEO of Paris-based Ubisoft Motion Pictures, Baronet also stated in an interview that none of Ubisoft's upcoming film adaptations will follow the same plot as their retrospective games, but will instead focus on telling new stories parallel to those games. So, they had every intention of making more of these movies and doing our idea, which is changing the character every movie. And look how far we have gotten. How many movies... I'm just trying to count, ALANNIS. How many Assassin's Creed movies have we had since this one came out? Wait, it's it's like 1, 2, 3, 4 minus
right by 7
minus 4, so 0. That's the answer. We've had 0. So looks like they made a really good decision for the future planning of this very successful series that we haven't seen another one again. Originally, it was going to be 2 hours and 20 minutes. It was then only shortened to 1 hour and 48 minutes.
Why the fuck was there 15 minutes of credits, by the way?
Dude, why the fuck was there even wait, hold on. Let me just get my facts straight before I say this. Why the fuck was there even 1 hour and 55 minutes of this?
Why did this happen?
If I could turn back time, if only I could stay with you for a while. All right, let's get into the goose, I guess. You know,
This whole fucking movie.
that's what I was about to say. Do you want to learn goofs? Just watch the movie, because the whole thing is a goof. Columbus's remains were moved several times, even possibly over the Atlantic to Cuba and back. Set of his remains are even though to reside in the Dominican Republic. Given these considerations, it's premature to think they know where the apple is based on the assumption that Columbus took it to his grave.
What?
Whatever.
Okay.
The assassins enter the Templar gathering by passing through a metal detector without setting it up. Once inside, one assassin removed a blade from his mouth. The blade should have been detected by the detector regardless if it was hidden inside the assassin's body. But we see the assassin point at his belt during safety checks, assuming the guards to believe it was the belt that had the detector to go off. Whatever. This movie's trivia is even fucking boring. I mean, goofs and trivia. So, ALANNIS, we're at the nitty gritty. Where are you ranking this?
Right at the bottom. I'm not even going to say it was a hard decision because it wasn't. This movie goes at the bottom.
Dude, I'm right there with you. And just give me a second so I can update this. And I love that's where you put it because it's made my fucking job of editing this much, much easier.
I feel that you knew that was going to happen, though.
Okay. I knew you were going to put it like last, but I had a sort of sneaking suspicion you may have put it above Super Mario Brothers because I thought maybe there would have been something in it you sort of got enjoyment from, and that you dug. Like as you said, you kind of didn't mind some of the fighting scenes and stuff. So I thought, look, I wouldn't be surprised if he put it higher than Mario Brothers, but I also wouldn't be surprised if he put it lower. You're a mixed bag, Alan. You know,
I'm a being of chaos.
but I feel like I've kind of done the thing that you wouldn't have expected either, which is I'm putting this in the same spot. Like,
Yeah.
I think you probably would have thought that I would have still kept the ranking as it has been.
I'm glad you put this below Mario because, as you put it yourself, at least Mario is a cheap, enjoyable. It's the kind of bad that you enjoy because it's bad. It's not the kind of bad that you go, "This is fucking bad."
And that's the thing. It's not that even Assassin's Creed was bad. It was boring. And if there's something that you can do that's worse than being bad, it's being boring.
Yeah.
Like, I felt like the dialogue delivery of this was so stale. Like,
And the mixing, I know sometimes you get a movie and there's a technical explanation behind it where the loud action is really loud and the talking is really quiet. This was ridiculous. Like, I had to put a compression over the movie so that I didn't have massive loud bangs of noise. So even from like a way that they produce the audio of this movie sucks. Like,
I don't know, man. I just honestly don't know one. I can't. Usually, I would say, look, this was a bad movie, but look, that part was dope, or whatever. You know what I mean? I always say that. You know, even in movies that I couldn't give a fuck less about. I can't believe that there is not one part in this movie that I can just be like, at least that part was good. I literally found every part in this movie not just bad, not just boring, but also like eye rolling. And the dialogue was like, we have to do this. we need to do it for. I know we need to, but it was like I was watching a movie in slow motion, but not. You know what I mean? Like it was slow and it was boring, and oh my god, man,
how did you feel when you watched your father kill your mother? And what would you do to him because he killed your mother?
I just fucking
him.
I just turn into this and run away. I'd prefer to be Ezra Miller right now in the position he's in than ever to watch this movie again. I mean,
this is basically what watching Morbius felt like as well, but worse.
Yes. I have to agree with you. I have to agree with you. I mean,
I feel this movie might actually be your Morbius.
I don't know, man.
And you have to watch it twice.
I don't know if this is my Morbius, man, because this is just a bad, boring movie, and it's like forgettable, and it's almost like it doesn't exist for me, except for the fact that we had to watch it. I'm trying to think of a movie like that isn't like a franchise, like Morbius is like a Marvel movie sort of thing. Like my Morbius would probably be Halloween Ends, not because it was as bad as Morbius, but because it let me down just so much. Like I am still so angry, upset, mad, and disgusted at the ending that we got to Halloween, and I'm still fucked up about it. And this movie, I'm not fucked up about this movie at all or anything. I'm just pissed off and wasted my time and was so fucking boring. And literally while watching it, as I said, this is what my eyes were doing. You ready? I'm going to look at you. I'm looking. This is just me looking at the screen. You ready? Like I tried so hard, and I couldn't even. I just couldn't. I got through 57 minutes and went, no,
You tried.
No.
I give you my gold sticker.
I almost stuck my fingers down my throat and vomited on my floor just to make a statement. To nobody except myself. To take a photo of it and then send it to the official Twitter for Assassin's Creed, the movie, because it would still probably exist. And it's a photo of my vomit on the floor with me writing the tweet above it saying, look what you made me do in my room after seeing your garbage fucking movie. Anyway,
you could put it on Reddit.
Every week with video game, well, it's not actually every week. In between films that we are currently doing, like new releases or series we are doing, like Spider-Man, Aliens, things coming soon, we are continuing our video game adapted movies, ranked and reviewed series. And every time we do a episode of this, we rank that video game movie against the previous ones we have already ranked. So I'm going to bring up the last ranking of all the movies we have done, and then I will bring up this week's ranking. So the last ranking looked like this. Mine, TOMYE. Number 1, Detective Pikachu. Number 2, Uncharted. Number 3, Tomb Raider. Number 4, Sonic. Oh, by the way, that's Tomb Raider 2018. Number 4, Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Number 5, Sonic the Hedgehog. Number 6, Super Mario Brothers. And ALANNIS goes Sonic the Hedgehog 2 at number 1, Tomb Raider 2018 at number 2, Uncharted at number 3, Sonic the Hedgehog at number 4, Detective Pikachu at number 5, Super Mario Brothers at number 6. Which now brings us to this week. And now it looks like this.
The way it should be.
Yep, the way it should be for most things. Except for some of the ones you fucking... I don't know. don't know what's wrong with you, man. That's whatever. Okay. My ranking goes now. Detective Pikachu, number 1. Uncharted, number 2. Tomb Raider 2018, number 3. Sonic the Hedgehog 2, number 4. Sonic the Hedgehog, number 5. Super Mario Brothers 1993 at number 6. And Assassin's Creed at number 7. And ALANNIS goes, number 1, Sonic the Hedgehog 2. 2, Tomb Raider 2018. 3, Uncharted. 4, Sonic the Hedgehog. 5, Detective Pikachu. 6, Super Mario Brothers. And 7, Assassin's Creed. And don't you ever burp like that again, man.
It just came out. It had to happen.
That's basically what this movie did. It just came out, man.
That's it.
It was almost like someone walked into the cinema, up to the projector, farted into the projector, and this is what started playing.
That burp was my condensed rage that I had to watch this movie. Because you know what, man? I know this movie happened, but I never watched it.
Dude.
But now I have.
Man, it would be so funny if while we were reviewing it, you suddenly had a heart attack. And this is why. Because the movie was just...
That would be a bad death, because I don't want to give that to this movie.
Yeah, see, dude, I reckon it'd be baller if me or you died on camera on the podcast, yeah? Okay, it might be a little sad. You'd probably be like, fuck, someone call the ambulance, or if it was me, or if it was you, I'd be like, fuck. Call 000 to ALANNIS' house or whatever. Like we'd look after each other. But it would be baller going out. And ALANNIS, if I die during a recording, your job is to make sure that fucking podcast goes out and gets on the air.
Yes. The
death will happen on the podcast. If it happens, everyone's going to see it. I don't give a fuck. And do you want the same, or do you want no one to see it?
Hey, that is what must happen.
Thank you. I
don't. And whilst my body is taken out in the hearse, has some LCD screens at my funeral playing my death.
Yeah. And at my funeral, while have TV screens set up next to the priest, like while he's standing at the fucking thing and talking, and just have over too loud the sound, so it's already louder than the guy giving the eulogy or whatever. So he's like, yeah, TOMYE, and it's just going, make sure you go check out www.youtube.com Loud Network now. You know what I mean? It's just like, come check out our series ranked and review. Come check out blah blah blah. And then the priest can someone or the eulogy someone please turn that down a little bit. You just turn it up a bit more. We got movie reviews coming out like Scream 6. We got.
Or if we both died at the same time, we could get Kyron to rank and review our on-screen death.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea. Anyways, let's get out of here. I've had enough.
That was a weird spot to end, wasn't it?
Sorry?
That was a weird place to end, wasn't it?
No, it was perfect. You know why? You know why? Because it still fucking ends much quicker than this movie did. And also, the longer we sit here, the more mad I'm getting about this fucking movie. I can barely breathe.
This is a very hate-filled pot. We've been 52 minutes of hatred.
Good.
I regret nothing.
Fuck this movie. Fuck it in a fucking sells its while it stands at glory holes all day and suck. Old people are dying out in the street. Goes over, shit bodies. Then he fucking has a little bit more. That's what this movie is.
Preach.
I'm sorry, I don't know where that came from.
I know exactly where that came from, and it's deserved.
Oh no, you just reminded me where it came from. This movie fucking sucks so. If you had a mum, I wish its mum would die in a fucking car accident. Hey, I'm just gonna look at 20th Century Fox as its mum. I hope you have a bad drive home tonight, 20th Century Fox.
I have an angry email to write to the CEO of 20th Century Fox.
And you know what? Assassin's Creed, as the good old Arnold Schwarzenegger would always say, we will not be back. That's not the quote at all, but you know.
Yes.
What about the quote from this movie? Do you know what it is?
I don't.
I don't either. All I'm just going to do is the eagle noise. When you jump off the buildings. That's the quote. That's the quote. Dude, if there was a quote like to put on the poster, it was like Assassin's Creed, Michael Fassbender. And instead of it being like, this time it's personal, or like, I have to save my life to save theirs or something. This one would just go, you know what? That's it. We're going to end it because I'm going to go into Melbourne City now. I'm going to go stand on top of one of the tallest buildings I can, jump off into a fucking haystack thing, and make the noise myself. Film it too, going, woo! Look, hey, it just looked like I was going down on myself then. All right, guys, I'll go. Bit busy at the moment. Just doing what Michael Fassbender was doing with everyone else while they made this movie. Oh. Just finished. Fuck this movie and fuck this podcast. We love you all.
Peace.
Peace.